As defense, I wasn't really happy with the results. I felt like we didn't win on third down or fourth down enough in clutch situations. I feel like we're going to fix that this week in practice, really focus on that. A lot of people did show up, though. We had a lot of good positives, but in a game like that, those third downs, fourth downs were really important. That would change a lot of the outcome.
How big do you think improving that is going to be heading into this week against Charleston Southern?
It's going to make a big difference for the rest of the season. A lot of the big changes are made between week 1 and week 2, and I feel like we have a starting point now. So if we just come in and focus on that and have a good showing at our first home game, it'll set the tone for the rest of the season.
Comparing last year's after the first game of the season to this year, what's the difference in terms of energy, excitement leading into the rest of the year?
I can't really answer that question. I wasn't a part of Troy last year.
They had so much pre-snap motion almost every snap out there. Does that stress the DBs out there trying to focus and trying to read all that? How much difference does something like that even make?
Those motions are basically just a big distraction to testing your eye discipline. We really drilled that heavy during that week of practice, and I feel like we did a really good job. They did a few motions that we weren't used to, and as far as communication-wise, we have to get that communicated across the board in the back end, so that way we can fit those gaps and see. Well, they did a good job with their fakes and stuff, so it got us on a few. But as a whole, based off what we did in practice, I feel like we did a good job with our eye discipline on that.
Yeah, I think the defense played really well overall, just comparing it to previous seasons. I think defense came out strong, playing the run. I think we played the run a lot better this first game. Stopped it pretty well. Had a couple of big plays that we gave up. Secondary played really well. I felt like we did a really good job of covering guys. There's going to be a couple of big plays you give up throughout the game, but overall, I felt like they did a really good job there. And just overall, there was a ton of energy during the first game. I think that really helped keep the defense alive. We were into it the whole game, just all the way through the fourth quarter, even when it was looking down. When we were down by a couple of scores, just kept fighting through, and I felt like that was a really good positive for the first game of the season.
Defensively, what do you think the biggest thing you guys learned about yourselves after the first game?
That we can play with anybody. I mean, they were a top 25 team in the country, and that really just boosted our confidence even more, seeing that we could play with those guys. There's definitely rooms for improvement, but as a defense, we are finally starting to mesh really well. It gave us a lot of confidence, and just knowing that we can go out there on Saturday and compete is really going to help us moving and progressing forward.
Are the coaches asking you to do different things? Is there much difference in approach from what you're doing or what the D-line is doing as a whole?
Yeah, they're expecting a lot more out of us than there has been in the past. They expect us to, before every game, before this game, first thing they said was, all we want you to do is play fast, hard, and physical, and that's what we were going to do no matter what. It's your first game, so you're going to make mistakes. That's inevitable on both sides of the ball. But they said, whatever you do, just keep on. Don't make the same mistake twice. And at the end of the day, we'll be pleased with y'all whether you win or lose, as long as you play fast, hard, and physical. And I feel that's what we did. Went out there and did on Saturday. Didn't get the W, but there was definitely lots of places of improvement from this team this year compared to last year's team. I think that was the biggest thing for us from the coaching staff.
Yes, I did. Crumley did absolutely great. Him and Boring. All the runs I had were to the right side mostly, and they sustained their blocks long enough for me to break through and make something positive happen. And going to that game, you really didn't know how they was gonna do because that first career start, but they did pretty good. And at the beginning of the game, I just talked to them and told them to keep their head up, and no matter what happened, just keep fighting.
As far as it goes for you, obviously, what did this first game mean for your confidence going forward? You had a big game named Offensive Player of the Week.
I was nervous at the beginning of the week. I sat down and talked to coach, and he told me, "Don't be nervous about anything. Just play like he know I can." And so I went into the game a little nervous and waiting for that contact. And once I got that first contact, my intensity level increased, and I was just ready to run.
Started the season on the road, obviously a lot of energy with the first game of the year. But now you start your first home game. Do you still feel that same type of intense energy, even though you coming off of a loss? But still, it sounds like a good way to start the season.
Yes, the intensity level is going to be increased double because we're home, our home fans here, and we got to make a big impression. You know, one rule is not to lose at home, and we're trying not to lose at home. So.
I know as an offense, you know, it's a positive for you guys when you see a defense playing well.
Mm-hmm.
You see the defense playing as hard as they are. Is that more encouraging for the offense, you know, going back out there knowing that you have the defense has your back as well?
Yes, it is. Knowing that the defense is going to get a stop or planning on getting a stop, and our defense is strong, it puts a good mindset on us to try to back them up, try to give them time to break on the sideline so they can get their rest, so they keep on fighting. You know, and we can put up numbers and everybody can be as one as a whole.